This is a Samurai Nation podcast on the Samurai Nation Podcast Network. We're doing it. We're doing another episode, everybody. It's exciting. We're back again for another episode of the Cool Podcast. Thanks for listening and subscribing. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to be back here on the Samurai Nation and the Podcast Network. And we're going to do a shout out to Podnut Media. We're proud to be a part of the Podnut Media family of media properties or whatever. All things are going great. We just have to deliver the one thing that we've come here to do, which is some great podcasting content. That's what we love to do. That's what it's all about. So sit back and relax. Get strapped in. So it's time for another exciting and fun and cool episode of the Cool Podcast. Man, that's maybe one of the better intros that I've done before. I don't know what's gotten into me today. I'm feeling focused and I'm feeling refreshed and I'm ready to do a fun and cool episode of the podcast. Once again, we'd like to thank Podnut Media for making all things possible.
Podnut Media.
For providing some new avenues and new outlets to get the podcasts out to the world. Some myself at my podcast, the Cool Podcast, as well as other podcasts on the Samurai
Nation Podcast Network.
I'm just going to let the soundboard do the talking for me. So shout out to Samurai Nation, all that. Everything's going well. But there's always a but. There's one thing that's sticking in my craw and it's sticking in the back of my mind that I'm thinking, whatever happened to that thing that I was worried about, which is that old guy, Big Jim. I don't know what he's up to these days. He won. He's basking in the glory, I guess. I don't even know if the podcast, Big Jim Nation podcast, whatever network, is still around. I have no idea. Maybe I should check into that. But there was one nagging question that we had. Is that how did he get these big, powerful attorneys, these guys from down south, down in New Orleans, and that's how you say it. They showed up on the day. We had no idea. My lawyer at the time, Buford Snively, had no idea who these guys were. We thought Big Jim was going to be representing himself, like he said over and over in his emails and texts, that I was going to go down in a flame of hellfire and that he was going to be the one to take me down himself. And then all of a sudden we show up on the court date. I'm just kind of remembering this and processing this live on the air. These powerful lawyers showed up. Lawyers. Is it lawyers or lawyers? They showed up. The whole crew of them in their suits and their ties. They smacked the documents down onto the table. And they proceeded to rip us a new hole. They smacked the table with the documents. And they gesticulated wildly at the jury and the judge and the executioner. Their minds were blown at these guys. They were incredible. I couldn't believe it. Buford Snively was in shock. So who the heck were these guys? They must have costed millions and millions of dollars, thousands at least, to put them on retainer. And they weren't wearing any kind of braces. They had perfectly straight teeth. But in order for Big Jim to get these guys, that was a big thing to do. Somehow he did it. I don't know where they came from. So I had to look into it. Who are these guys? I got the court documents today. I got all the documents in a big stack, and I'm smacking them down on the desk to figure out who are these guys. Well, their name is, they were the law firm of Ralphus, Grawlem, Jones, and Bumpo. And a lot of these lawyer guys have crazy names. And these ones included the law. Somehow he retained the services of Ralphus, Grawlem, Jones, and Bumpo. and they've had such high flying clients as Raytheon and Blackwater and Halliburton and all the bad companies that you know that are doing dastardly things across the world. Somehow Big Jim, this buffoon who came to the court with flip-flops and a button-up t-shirt, he even posted on Twitter, like he said, "Look at me, here's what I wear to court," or something. So I can't believe that. The judge should have thrown this guy out the way he looked. But Ralphus Grumpo and all of his other guys, Bumpo and Grumpo, came in and they won the big case. So who the heck are these guys? Where did they come from? And how did Big Jim retain their services? Well, I thought there was one guy who could help me out on this, and that's our friend Paradox, who's a hacker. He has a podcast on the Samurai Nation
Podcast Network.
on the network about Trump or something. So election's coming up. He's all in on Trump, and I hope he's checking to make sure the hackers, the Russian hackers, aren't hacking in. Anyway, I had to ask, like, how can you do some investigating on these guys, Grumpus and Bumpo or whatever their names are? And so he sent me a message about that. Hopefully he's got some juicy details and he can tell me where these guys came from. What's the connection, I guess. That's what we're trying to connect the yarn together. So let's see what he has to say here.
Greetings, Beowulf. It's Paradox here. Listen, I got the court documents you sent over for Big Jim's law firm. And right away I'm kind of seeing a ton of red flags here. I hate to say this, but I need to stick to my hacker ethics on this one. These files just have too much dirt smeared all over them, figuratively and frankly literally. Did you dig these out of the trash or something? Alright, look, normally I don't advocate for people to go this route, but you might be better off searching the dark web to find what you need. Be very careful though.
What?
There are always wolves on the lookout for a tasty rabbit.
Oh man.
But before I go, it's time for the paradox of the day.
Okay.
You might find me outside with a can of hairspray, spraying it with the hope that the sun will burn a hole in the earth. Another part of me hopes that people will grow up and evolve and get smarter. That's the paradox of Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson. I guess he's a big Marilyn Manson fan. And I always get him mixed up. Marilyn Manson, Marilyn Monroe, Charles Manson. It's all kind of, anytime I'm trying to talk about some of these, any old name pops out. So, what did he say there? He said something about he couldn't investigate. What? This guy can investigate anything. But I guess there's something wrong with the files. They're too dirty. I guess there was some stuff on them probably from Big Jim. Got his grease all over it. But he's saying that we need to go into the dark web or something. Huh. I don't know about that. I do know one guy that can maybe do that. He's deep into the deep of the dark depths, but I don't know if he even would go for this. Well, I'll have to check in. But, that's strange. I thought if there's one guy that can get to the deep, darkest depths and figure this stuff out, it's Paradox. But apparently he can't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Well, with that being said, let's wrap this up and let's get into our first segment. It's the podcast roundup, everybody. I just had to cut that intro segment short. So enough of that. We need to get into our first segment, and wouldn't you know, it's the podcast roundup, everybody. So, I was looking for pods. I got some good ones lined up, and I thought, you know what? We need to revisit a fellow who showed up on another segment, on the TikTok segment. That's how we found him. It's Alex Inc., and his podcast is called Bumble F. And I thought, you know what? I think we need to transition him over to the podcast roundup, because that's more of what he's known for, his podcasts. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to listen to an entire episode of the Bumble F podcast, the whole damn thing. And wouldn't you know, I got through the whole thing. I think I made it to an hour and 6 minutes. But man, his latest episode is wild. Gave me a lot of anxiety listening to it. He had a long story, and I'll play it. I'm going to go through a couple points that I have written down here and see if I can summarize what his big story was. But I'm worried about this guy. I'll just say that. I'm worried about this guy. So here's his classic intro. He's got his handkerchief on or whatever, and he's got his headphones with all of the pictures in the background. He's doing the pod.
Check. Seepsy fly. So, 18 days ago, I walked into Menards. Wanted to save some big money. Walked into Menards and bought one 80-pound bag of ready-to-use concrete. Bought myself a wheelbarrow. I am now a proud owner of a shovel. Added water, stirred, and poured the foundation of my financial future. I bought one share of Tesla. One. On August 20th, 2020.
He bought Tesla.
I can't do this. I can't stop buying my ex-girlfriend.
And that was me from the soundboard, but I can't stop buying crypto.
I can't stop buying crypto.
So he bought Tesla. He bought some Tesla stock. He's pumped about that. One share of Tesla, which apparently is a lot of money.
My ex-girlfriend crashed Tesla stock.
What?
My ex-girlfriend crashed Tesla stock.
The hell?
Sticks.
The frick. So that's the what he's talking about on this episode that I listened to. I'm gonna just say I listened to the whole thing. I probably had about another 7 minutes left of it, but man, he took me on a roller coaster. My ex crashed Tesla stock. What the hell is he talking about? Let's see if we can explain. But then we're gonna have to jump around. I'll see if I can paraphrase what he talked about. Because it's a real paradox, this guy. It's just crazy.
What is going on, people? Alex Inc. And this is Bumblefuck, people, episode 40. Wow, I don't even know what to say. This is good. This episode 40, is supposed to be a celebration. This is supposed to be a celebration of the first 18 days of my financial future. Putting a stake in the ground and claiming your financial future. Instead, life just throws speed bumps at you, man. Life just throws curveballs at you. That's all. And I'm not talking about those AAA curveballs. I'm talking about that nasty, that Kershaw, that 12-6, that 61-inch horizontal drop. This is just crazy. But today is Monday.
Crazy.
It is 7:49 a.m. Thought I'd get the jump off.
Yeah, he's podcasting. It's early in the day. He talks about some people who were there. Oh, it's Labor Day. And he starts talking about some people who were building something. He doesn't really say what it is. And after listening to this, I feel like I need to know more about this guy. And we'll get into that, guys. I have more questions, even listening to this whole thing, but I can't bring myself to listen to all the episodes. And we'll talk about that in a second, guys. Anyway, so he bought a share of Tesla, and that's his whole big thing. He then goes and buys another share of Tesla, and he doesn't have any money. So this is his whole big story. He doesn't have any money for his to buy the Tesla stock, another one, which is like, I don't know, a lot of money or something. So then he has to go to the bank, which is he's in Wisconsin. It's in Green Bay. It's 30 minutes away. He has to go there by 1, 2, so he can buy his Tesla stock. And he's taking his credit card to put $400 into his account so his checking account doesn't bounce because he bought the Tesla stock. So he's got to drive there. He gets there, the card declines. Anyways, the whole thing about how he's got to buy the Tesla stock, and there's these various things that are preventing it, and he doesn't want his checking account to overdraft, basically. But this guy is just a ball of just energy and anxiety, and it's really just a lot to listen to this, and I'm worried about him. I have great concern for Alex Inc. I'm worried about his mental health, what he's got going on. Let me see if I can fast forward to some funny parts. But he alludes to the fact that he works a job. He's going to start working 12 hours a day for like 6 days a week, doing a forklift or something, and he doesn't have time to do anything. And he's a wreck. This guy's a wreck. He needs to, whatever his job is, he needs to figure something else out and take a break. But I guess he's making some money, and for some reason he wants to buy land. So I think that's part of it. And he talks about his ex. Anyway, it's just a whole thing.
My mind finally goes off, and it explodes.
His mind exploded.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay. So his credit card is declined, but then everything works out. Then he's happy. Then he's like, I'm going to go see my ex-girlfriend. He goes to his ex-girlfriend's house, and she's there getting ready to do something, and he realizes while he's there, she's going on a date. My ex is going on a date, but he feels bad that he's intruding, and he wants everything to be okay with his ex. He's not mad, and he feels like crap, and it's so sad. I feel so bad for this guy. I thought it was going to be funny to listen to, and then listen to almost the whole thing, and I'm like, man, I feel sorry for him. He's got a lot going on.
I realized, holy fuck, dude.
Holy frick.
This girl is getting ready for a date on a Saturday.
What the frick?
Lazy afternoon. What the fuck is she in a rope for? What's she showering at 3 p.m.? This girl hasn't gotten dressed up since our first date 2 years ago.
Man, his girlfriend broke up with him. They met, I guess, when he moved to Wisconsin from LA. There's a whole story to this guy. It's just crazy. So anyways, ex is going on a date. She's going to tank the Tesla stock, which I don't even understand that. I'm not even going to try to understand stocks or any of that. And also, you can't stop buying crypto.
I can't stop buying crypto.
Let's see. There's another funny thing about something about his... Let's see what this is.
Me, with her unconditional love and her time and her presence. And this girl is very unique, man. She's probably the second strongest woman I know. Second to my mom. I don't know, man. She just put me back together with her love, I guess. I don't know.
This is
Boy,
ex.
this episode is... Fuck, really doing it, Harry. Filled me with her attention, man. Filled me with her attention. Her touch.
Oh my God.
Her gaze. One of the best first dates I've ever experienced. And I don't even know if I date. I don't know if this is the first date I've ever had. I don't know, but man, if every first date would be this good, fuck, life would be fucking great. She never once... I don't know if she ever once raised her voice at me. And there was a million times she could have blasted me, put me on blast. She never did. She once scolded me for an insensitive thing I did on Christmas Eve when they surprised me with a Christmas tree. I was an asshole. Color me jackass.
He hates Christmas.
Wasn't prepared. I don't get gifts. Wasn't prepared. Holidays and me have a bad relationship just like I do with money. Her and her daughter surprised me with a tree, and I blew it.
He blew it, like, surprised him with a tree or something, and he blew it. That's his ex-girlfriend, by the way. There's another funny part in here about... let's see if I can find it.
realized, holy fuck, dude.
Okay, I already saw that
That's
part.
fucking on me, man. I'm a fucking child. I'm a child disguised as a 50-year-old man.
Okay, that's not the funny part.
She was getting ready for a date.
Okay. So bad for this guy. He's being hard on himself, and he seems like he's got a lot going on. But now he owns 20 shares of Tesla, so that's good. And I guess I'll just say this. I'll put this out in the world. I'm going to say it so the patrons can hold me accountable. And I'm always trying to get guests on, and we've had a lot of good guests from the podcast networks.
Samurai Nation.
And I'm thinking, here's maybe one of the most attainable guests. I know someone was suggesting that we get John Cullen from Blocked Party on the podcast. Probably not going to happen, but one of the most attainable guests is probably this guy. and I don't mean that like I'm gonna bring him on and make fun of him. I'm genuinely curious about his whole crazy backstory, and I want to be like, you're gonna be okay. I want to encourage him. I'm gonna be don't be so hard on yourself. Take a break. Take a vacation. I want to talk about pods. I want to get Alex Inc. on the podcast, and I'm saying it so I can hold myself accountable. So I'll send him an email or a DM, ask him if he wants to come on the podcast. Because I listened to this whole damn thing. Like, I want to know more, but I don't want to listen to all of his episodes. I'm curious about. He's just an interesting character to me, and I feel kind of bad that he's going through a lot of crazy stuff. But he's buying Tesla, so that's good. So, anyways, I'm putting that out into the world so the patrons can hold me accountable to get this guy on the podcast. All right, let's get into the next Let's get into some other podcasts. We got a lot of different segments on the show, but I found a couple of other podcasts that are funny. This one's called I Don't Give a Rip. This one sounds kind of funny. I don't give a rip.
I'm Deandra Simmons, and I'm halfway to 100, and I don't give a rip.
And I'm Mama Doo, and I'm close to 80, and I really don't give a rip.
And I'm Amy Vanderoff, and it's easy to not give a rip. We're going to show you how.
Welcome to the I Don't Give a Rip podcast with Amy B. On some tequila, and producer Tommy, and our special guest, Mr. Lance Blaine.
Yay!
We needed to raise the energy today. You know, everyone listening has been through the kerfuffles of this time. And whether it's personal,
is that
professional, anything, it gets bumpy and there's so many different pendings, but we needed to bring this episode in with some energy and some good, positive
Kerfuffle.
voodoo, whatever.
Okay.
Shut up, Lance. You know what I'm trying to say. We needed to start it off good.
Give a
So
rip.
hello, my lovelies.
Welcome to Tequila Talk with Amy and Deandra and Lance. And all the other kerfuffles that may happen.
Kerfuffles.
I have never heard the word kerfuffle in my life.
Kerfuffle sounds like a food. I'm kind of like getting hungry now because it sounds like a really good food that I've missed out on.
It sounds like something you would make
This
for
is
us.
funny.
Hey,
I'm going to start making
Deandra,
kerfuffles.
how are you? How's work? What's going on? Let's get into it.
Her in a ruffle.
She's still on kerfuffles.
I'm doing really good, but I really want to figure out this recipe. I'm doing well. I had a busy weekend, and I am RHOD free. So
Nice.
kind of like I'm STD free and RHOD
Did you-
free.
she took some penicillin. She's good now. Good for you.
So I'm in a good mood, and
These are TV people. No surface chat here with these famous housewives. I guess this is a real housewife related thing. I'm not heard of them before. I don't give a rip. Just thought it sounded. I don't give a rip. Anyway, that's the I Don't Give a Rip podcast. This is another one. So we're on a platform that has some good podcasts on it. Usually we look at Podbean. This is a different one called Spreaker. I don't understand why it's called the Spreaker. Terrible name. It's hard for me to say the right way. Spreaker. So we were on Podbean. We found a podcast with a young woman who's saying she's in Florida or something and talking about sex or something. So we found a similar one on Spreaker called Why You Mads. Spreaker.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep.
I'm just calling to say, why you mad?
Why you mad, man?
Season freak.
Freak?
Hi, you little motherfuckers. I missed you guys. How are you all doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful fucking day. Listen, it's 10 a.m. right now. Maddie, up before noon. Yeah, I'm shocked just as much as you are. I've been on this new thing recently where I've been getting up at fucking 7:30. Why? I have no idea, but I think it's helping my depression. In some way or another, it's like benefiting my health, and I don't know how. I wake up at like 7:30 and I go to bed literally at like 9:30 or 10.
Me too.
I don't know what's happening. She's like a new girl. I feel like I'm aging. I also feel like I'm in a midlife crisis. There's a lot of things right now going on that's kind of stressing me the fuck out, but we're just going with it. It's fine. I'm living, kind of. Hi, I missed you guys last week. I got so many messages of people being like, where was your episode last week? Why aren't you uploading today? This and that.
Where's
which
the podcast?
I was
really
pod. Sad, and I felt really fucking bad that I didn't upload last week. But at the same time, it also was like a good feeling to know that many people are keeping up with my podcast and like waiting for me to upload. I don't know. It's like very almost reassuring, I guess, that this is the right path for me right now. That like I'm making other people happy or laugh or whatever. Anyways, me dodging around where I was last week. Okay, so where was I last week actually? Yeah, okay, so I had actually filmed an episode last week, filmed it through and through. I edited probably, I would say half of it. Well, not half of it. I probably edited about a quarter of it, I would say. And I just didn't like it. My mood was off. I was going through a little bit of a funk last week. I didn't feel like I was there mentally. I kind of had like a little bit of a depressive episode. My anxiety was really bad. I think part of the reason was all my friends just went to college, and so did my sister. And it's kind of hard when everyone leaves me, because as much as I like being alone, I also thrive when I hang out with people. And now all my friends are gone. And like, granted, I can go visit them and stuff, but I don't have that many friends that are like in Houston year round. There's kind of like not a lot to do in Houston. So I feel like kids go to college and there's no one really here all year besides me. So...
Oh no. Madison Steiner, she's all alone in Houston, checking out her Instagram. She has 20,000 followers. Why are you mads? And I guess she doesn't go to college, which that's fine. You don't have to do that these days. And she's on TikTok. She's got 100,000 followers.
I had a friend share something with me recently that has completely changed my whole life. And I just feel like there's definitely someone out there that needs to hear this. So I'm going to share it with you. You need to stop going through your life focusing on all of the negative things. If you allow your brain to kind of filter out the small little bad things that happen to you throughout the day, I promise your days are going to get so much better. For example, say you're having a bad morning. We all have bad mornings, it's okay. But rather than holding on to that negative energy, let it go. Just let it go. Acknowledge that you had a bad morning, okay? But don't let it define you for the rest of the day. Stop focusing on the bad and shift your focus to the good things that have happened, even if they're so small.
Queen. Madison Steiner. I'm trying to see if she had anything on Twitter. The tweets are protected, so she's only got 30 followers. Anyway, that's the podcast roundup, folks. Why you mads? I like finding some of these pods. It's fun. Okay, we've got another segment. We're looking good on time here. Let's do a quick version of this segment, because I had a few things pulled up. Some stuff I wanted to talk about. We haven't done this one in a while. And this is me vamping, trying to find my sound drop. It's so hard to find these sound drops. I need to figure out a better way to do it. And here it is. It's the next segment. I want my coins! I want my coins! So I'm looking into these dang coins, and we know all about the coins. Bitcoins is what we're talking about. A lot of crazy stuff goes on with Bitcoins. And I'm looking into some of these Bitcoin things, finding a lot. Sorry, I turned off my Bitcoin faucet because money. This is on CoinDesk. This is a thing that I'm learning about, the Bitcoin faucet. In November 2015, I started operating 99 Bitcoins faucet. 99 Bitcoins. Do. Almost 3 years later, on October 8th, I've shut it down. Oh no. We didn't even get a chance to get a glass and fill up our cup of coins, our coin cup. Throughout its history, the faucet paid out 12.795 Bitcoins. Whoa, that's a lot. It's a lot of money. So I wanted to learn about cryptocurrency faucets. And it's a faucet. It's sort of like one that's in your kitchen or your bathroom. They're a type of website that work on traffic arbitrage. It means you buy traffic cheap and sell it expensive. What does that even mean? You give site visitors a small amount of crypto every few minutes. And that's what we want. We want some money. We want our coins. I want to sign up for one of these. You give visitors referral fees, bringing in new visitors. So your visitors get some crypto, and they get the codes, and then you send them out to get in some new ones. You get paid by advertisers to show ads to your visitors. What kind of ads are we talking about? As long as money paid to visitors is less than money received from advertisers, you're profitable. Whoa, that makes sense. The first faucet was actually created back in 2010, and I'd like to debate that. I think the first faucet was created back in 4000 BC in the Flintstones. They had a faucet. It was probably made out of a friggin' snake or something. And they were like, I work for the human and I'm a snake and I'm also a faucet. So they wanted to give people free Bitcoins to spread the word about it. You may not believe it, but back then, that faucet gave out 5 whole Bitcoins for each new visitor. Whoa! And in today's money, that's a lot. So that's pretty sweet to think about that you could get some free money way back when. And he linked to a Bitcoin forum. Oh, this is good. We're gonna have to save this for later. Bitcointalk.org. Gavin Anderson posted in 2010, 10 years ago. He's creating a site that gives away Bitcoins. Freebitcoins.appspot.com. That ain't around anymore. 5 Bitcoin per customer. First come, first served. I've stocked it with 1,000 Bitcoin to start. I'll add more. I'm sure it is working properly. Why? Because I want Bitcoin project to succeed. Man, so he did a good thing and he gave away a bunch of money. I bet he regrets that now. He'd be a millionaire. Bazillionaire. Today's faucets have evolved into different forms. Sometimes you get the one that you don't even have to touch, the touchless faucet. You just wave your hand. He's going to cover some of these in the post, so let's check this out. I think this is about all we're going to get to do for the Bitcoin, but we'll be back with more Bitcoins. I got some other stuff I want to look into.
I can't stop buying crypto.
Can't stop buying crypto. And congrats to my crypto, and I want to say a big thanks to my crypto family. Started 99 Bitcoins faucet as a side project. Bought an already existing faucet called Bitcoin Genie. I've heard of Trucker Genie. It's Bitcoin Genie, which back then was making around $300 a month, and wanted to see if I could make something more of it. Actually documented my complete journey in a series of blog posts. So you had to first actually build the faucet. You had to hammer it out in the blacksmith shop and upgrade your skill tree to build the faucet. Use the faucet plugins for WordPress. What should the time interval be between user payouts and how much should I pay each time? The fact that cryptocurrency fluctuates a lot in price makes it hard to determine a fixed amount in crypto you want to pay to users. So the Bitcoin's profit stuff is going up and down all over the place. So he used Google AdSense to do ads. He tweaked the site and to try to prevent some of the spam requests coming in. He managed to make over $1,500 in March of 2016. At the height of its career, the faucet managed to net nearly $2,000 a month on almost complete autopilot. Recently made my complete revenue documentation public. Then everything changed. Google murdered the faucet. Oh no! This is crazy. Google banned the faucet from the AdSense program. Apparently faucets are a form of incentivized traffic. Oh crap, which I wasn't aware of at the time. This was a devastating blow to my main revenue stream, and I had to find alternatives. Once banned from AdSense, he tried other ad revenue stuff. So around 2018, he removed the ads and run the faucet at a loss. Why did I do this? 99 bitcoins. Was doing pretty well. And the hassle it took to round up my revenue from the faucet wasn't worth my time. So we lost $500 a month and still run the faucet pro bono. So we did all kinds of other faucet plugins for WordPress, but he eventually took the faucet down. Dang, it was a great project though. Aside from the Bitcoin faucet model, there are many other sites doing something similar. Here's some examples. Instead of earning a set amount of Satoshis on each day, you can buy a ticket to a lottery. Every day or so, someone wins the jackpot. Or you can do a poker site where you play for crypto. I might have to do that. I like poker. A virtual game where you mine bitcoins and withdraw what you mined. Ads are placed on the site for revenue. We'll get into that next time on the coin. I want my coin segment. That's a little teaser. Gonna get into some Bitcoin gambling because I found some of this stuff through TikTok about different Bitcoin games, casino games. There's a game called Rubit, which is like a simulating. I don't fully understand what it is, but it's like simulating. Oh, here's one. It's a website that has different games. One of them is called Rubit Crash. Rubit. And where you're starting new round and you're placing a bet to see if Bitcoin is going to go up or down. But it's like a fake Bitcoin stock market, and you win if you bet the right way or something. And I would like to bet a lot of money, and I would like to win lots of money. So I'm going to learn how to play Rubit next time, Rubit Crash, and learn about what some of the other casino games are for Bitcoin. All right, does that sound like a deal? Let's get into our next segment. Man, we love this one. It's been a while since we've done this one, so we've got to have some time to do it. See if we can blast through it. And let's do the next segment. Whoops. Let's do the next segment. I'll edit that part out. It's your gusher. It's gross. It's gross. We got to look at some gushers. People forgot about this website. People have thought that Gusher fell off, but well, I'm happy to tell you that it does not. So we got a couple of gushers with some videos to watch. Here we've got one with our favorite guy, and then we've got another one from a different guy who's not the Gusher King himself. Voice. This is AITEM Connect, connecting retailers directly to shoppers to shopper doors at home. Anyway, Gusher's a website about startups, and the main thing is to try to get people to join the startup team, and promising different percentages of equity in the company. Meaning, if this thing takes off, this could be like a Bitcoin explosion, like in the Bitcoins we were talking about, except you would get a lot of money because you owned equity in the company that you worked for. But if it doesn't work, if it crashes, then it's no good, and you did a lot of work for nothing. So let's check out this video. I don't know what this is. It's AITEM Connect.
My name is Derry Agila, founder and CEO of Item Connect.
Item.
We have a startup here
it's spelled
that has a huge potential to disrupt the marketplace of retail.
Item.
It's a startup that's juicy and sexy to describe to people, which also coincidentally gives us the opportunity to be able to attract great talent. This is a startup as well that serves as a major lifeline to the retail industry, which we all know is suffering heavily at the moment.
Some of them are doing pretty good.
For the most part,
Kroger.
still dependent on ideas and strategies that worked decades ago. While online retailers like Amazon and Walmart, and even Target as of late, are venturing into modern technology and modern strategies of reaching customers. Brick and mortar retailers are still sticking with the old ways that worked in the past.
Oh, no.
What we at Item Connect have decided to do is bring to them modern technologies like mobile, like apps, platforms, and logistics, so we can help them create digital shelves for their products so customers can see those products, know what's available instantaneously, order them, and our dedicated fleet of drivers have those picked up and delivered to the shoppers' homes.
He's showing some clip art of a van that has someone and a phone. He's delivering a product, and then another guy who's got a big bunch of boxes that say item, and it's spelled AITEM. Item.
In as little as 30 minutes after purchase. We believe this is a game changer, not just because it sounds good, and again, it's sexy and easy to describe to people, both customers and clients, but because it's going to be the way of the future in a couple of years anyway. We are trying to pioneer this for all retailers. If you're a brick and mortar store, if there's a brick and mortar store out there that has products that can be bought and taken away from the store, we can have them delivered. Not just groceries, but everything. This is why we're looking for dedicated, smart, intelligent executives to join our team. So please reach out, connect with us, find out some more about what we plan to do and who are the current executives on the team. We have phenomenal people already reaching out to be part of this. So please drop us a line and let's continue the conversation. Thank you. Have a great day.
So customers can order directly from their local stores and have anything delivered within 30 minutes or less. We give retailers an easy way for stores to directly connect with their customers. Each store will be operating a POS, and that stands for point of sale. And get your head out of the toilet. It doesn't stand for piece of shit. So they have a POS, point of sale. Once the app purchases arrive at the individual store's portal, we work hand in hand to coordinate fulfillment and get things delivered to the shopper's home. Okay, so it's just a delivery service, I guess. Item. Got another one here. Got another gush. And then we gotta get moving. We had a lot of stuff in here today. A lot of content. We got another banger project from Chris Joyce. He's the project manager. I guess he's not the founder. The founder is Patrick Walker, but I'm sure he's affiliated somehow with Chris because he got Max Martinez in the mix. He's another Gusher guy. He's on all the projects, so I'm sure Patrick is somewhere in the mix. I mean, Chris is somewhere in the mix, pulling the strings and making it happen to get another great startup on his website. This one's pretty weird. We might have to come back to this one. Running out of time, but I had to check this one out. Socket paint. The idea for socket paint came from a team effort while brainstorming. Our initial thought was, what would happen if we had a long life cycle chemical reaction that provided light in a more economical way than current lighting? What if the product was carbon negative and actually made the world a better place? What if that reaction could be done using paint as the carrier, as the way of distributing light anywhere inside and outside? In places where there was no electricity, what if the paint actually became a replacement for light bulbs and electricity? That's a lot of what ifs, but we've done this before, the creating of something from just an idea. We're a tight team of entrepreneurs that know how to solve problems, and creating socket paint is worth the time. The problem? There's a lot of darkness. We need more light. Current paints act as covering design and visual cues. There's not enough potential. The potential for paint is huge. You could make a crazy work of art with some light paint. Actually, I'm sure if they invented that, that would be pretty cool. Socket paint provides the equivalent ambient light of a standard light bulb. Okay. The potential market for socket paint is huge. There's so many light bulbs. The market for light bulbs is huge, but there's not a market. Socket paint is not a replacement for standard paint or a replacement for lighting where on-off selection is needed. Competition for lighting is intense. So they have a crazy, frankly, stupid idea to make paint that's light. And you can light up your walls and also never be able to turn the light off. And it's also going to be a crazy chemical reaction that's going to be in your walls inside your house. They tried that once before and it ended up killing people. Lead paint and asbestos and all that. Socket paint. Man. Yeah, that's a classic gush right there. We're going to have to come back to socket paint. But they need a chemist. That's the number one thing. We need someone to figure out how to make the paint light up. And it's going to replace light bulbs. Man, of all the gushers, this is maybe the dumbest one ever. Socket paint. Well, it's been a fun ep today. I wish I could keep going and keep going and going and going, but we got to end the show, dang it.
Podnut Media.
Thanks to the Podnut Media family. Shout out to
Samurai Nation Podcast Network.
Shout out to Samurai Nation. Thanks to the patrons. Thanks for the patrons for watching. We're going to have another new ep to talk about all next week. You're going to talk all at the water cooler about the latest episode of the Cool Podcast. So thanks for listening. It was a lot of fun. We did all the segments that we love. So thanks for listening. We'll be seeing you next time. The Cool Podcast. Man, that might have to be the new outro music. That was pretty good. Thanks for listening. Here's the real outro. I'm double dipping today. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on the Cool Podcast. Bye-bye.
What is up, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was a Samurai Nation podcast on the Samurai Nation Podcast Network.
I'm a fucking child.